Hello value family, yeah, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to share with you on how to make ripe plantain chips. Everything you need to know about making ripe plantain chips. I know making ripe plantain chips might be a little bit difficult, but don't worry, this video is for you. After this video you should be able to make ripe plantain chips even for your business. All right guys, let's get right into the recipe. For this is a bunch of plantains that I'll be using in this
And
video.
one trick you should know when purchasing your plantains for plantain chips for the ripe one is for you to buy your plantains unripe. Allow this to go through the normal ripening process in your hand. Let it get ripened in your hands. That way, you are sure that your plantains is going to turn out very sweet. Because anyone that purchases a ripe plantain chips is aiming for something sweet, right? Because if you are not lucky, you can buy the ones that was forcefully made to ripe, and those ones they are not sweet at all. I know you understand what I mean. So if you buy your own unripe plantains and allow these to take the normal ripening process, you are sure to get a very sweet ripe plantains, even though that most of them is not going to get ripened at the same time. Hope you understand. So after washing, this is what we have. I'm just going to start peeling out the ones that we are using, and you can see in this video not all of them got ripened at the same time. Some are still semi unripe, but I'm just going to make do with the ripe ones for the sake of this video. So just go through the normal process, peel out the back of your plantains, and just keep them till you are ready to start grating. I know that making the unripe one is very more easier. So if you're starting out, I want you to start out with the unripe plantain chips. I have the video already on my channel on how to make your own unripe plantain chips for your business, for personal consumption, even right to packaging. So you need to watch that video for you to understand, because I'm just going to make this video shorter because everything has been well explained in my unripe plantain chips video. So I'm not going to go into packaging, labeling, that's branding and the rest. So if you're interested on how to package, make unripe plantain chips for your business, just go and watch that video. Unlike the unripe plantain chips, this just require a very important step for you to make, and I'm going to share that with you here. And if you like videos like this, just take a moment and hit the subscribe button below and subscribe to my channel. I share recipes like these, tutorials, and all you need to know about anything to do with the kitchen. So just take a moment and hit the subscribe button below. I appreciate that. So I'll just proceed now to just clear the work surface before we proceed. And these are the right plantains you'll be using for this recipe. So we also need a grater. That's if you don't have the next two I'll be showing you guys. You also need a corn flour. This is just going to make your ripe plantain cheese very firm. You don't just want it to be like normal fried plantain. So you need corn flour for this. And if you're making for business or for anything, you need a food processor, please. At least for starting out when you're making your ripe plantain chips. But for ripe plantain chips, you don't necessarily need that, because with that other grater I showed you guys, you are good to go. But for the ripe ones, you need this. It's going to make the work easier, faster, and the cut is going to be even. Just take a look at how easy this is cutting it. But don't worry, I'm going to show you on how to make use of your grater if you don't have your food processor. Yes, you can also make your own ripe plantain chips at home, even without the food processor. Just for you to note that it's just going to be a little bit difficult, but with the unripe ones, you don't have anything to worry about it. You can just make use of your grater. Is also very fast. It's just that the ripe ones are a little bit soft, and as they are soft, they are not as firm as the unripe one. They are soft, and it's just going to make your work slow, and you just have a way to go about it. So I'm just going to show you how this is going to turn out. We are done grating this. I'm going to reserve some to use a grater for the sake of this video. So I'm just going to show you how this turns out. All of them was cut evenly, and that is what the food processor will do for you. And in no time you are done. Just look at it. It have cut this very thinly, and they are all evenly. We are good to go with this one. Yes, this is what it looks like. It cut this very thinly. So I'm just going to set this aside now, and let's go ahead to use our grater for this. You can make use of any grater that you have, but I usually use this one. If you have watched my unripe plantain chips video, I'm sure you have seen this grater. You can see I'm struggling with it, right? That is it, because the plantain is very soft. You're going to have just have a firm grip of your ripe plantain, and you go ahead to grate. You make sure to use your hands to be pushing it into the holes of the grater. That is what we are doing right now. But if your plantain was semi ripe, it's going to be more easier, just like this one. If it's semi ripe, it's going to be easier. But if it's ripe plantain, you are just going to have this difficult difficulty using the grater, just like I'm doing. You're just going to take your time, but just know that you are going to achieve the same result. You are going to It will still eventually pass through, and if you try to use your knife, you are going to get a very thick cut, and that is not what you want. And this is one tip, the secret ingredient for getting your ripe plantain cheese very crisp. This is it. Make use of corn flour. I know you are getting this first class information from me. You make use of your corn flour. You're going to coat your already cut ripe plantains with this corn flour. Just make sure that it's well coated. Just stir it all around. It's good. Just coat it as I'm doing, and that is it. I also coated the ones we use our food processor to process, but I'm just showing you this. This is what I do. So after coating it, I'm going ahead now to pour in vegetable oil into the frying pan. And what I'm making today is the plain plantain chips, not the spicy one, just the plain plantain chips. And like we do, just add in your salt into the oil. Please be sure not to add too much salt. If you add too much salt, take this from me, your plantain chips is going to turn out salty, and that is not what you want. Just a little bit of salt, add it into the oil and stir it around, just like I'm doing. Now proceed now to add in the already coated plantains that we have cut. This is the one we grated actually. So just add everything in. And one thing you should note is that you shouldn't crowd your frying pan when you are frying your ripe plantain chips, and try to just separate it like I am doing. Unlike the unripe ones, you can separate it when it's done, but this you just need to separate it, because if you leave it, it's going to stick together, and it will be a bit difficult to separate when it's ready. So I'm going to allow this to fry. Once the color changes, please keep your eye on this. This is a time for you to take this out from the hot oil. So I'm using the back of my spoon to try to separate the ones that are still stick together before remove it from the hot oil. So this is just what I'm doing. So once you are satisfied, you're just going to take this out from the hot oil and transfer this to your strainer for you to drain any excess oil. And that is how to make your ripe plantain chips the manual method, if I'm permitted to call that the manual method, right? So make sure to just take this out immediately, because the longer you leave it on fire, it's going to get even very dark. It's going to get very black, and you won't like that. And once it's very burnt, it won't be sweet at all. It will just be like you're eating, how will like a cool it won't be sweet at all. So I'm just going to take this out from the hot oil and we'll proceed now to fry the rest of the plantain chips. See, like I said earlier, if you waste time before removing this from the hot oil, some of them is just going to get black, and this is what you have. So make sure to reduce your heat before when it's ready, and proceed to take them out from the hot oil. So I'm adding in the second batch at the stage. You can see me using my spoon to just separate them so that they don't stick together when it's ready. So this is why I'm adding it batch by batch. And try not to overcrowd your frying pan. Just try and separate them when it's still in the oil. And in no time, this is what you are going to have. Your plantain chips, they are ready. And this is very crunchy. It is very sweet. You don't need to add anything. I understand that some people add sugar to their own, but just try out this method. You will find out that there is no need to add sugar at all. This is very crunchy.
Like this is very crunchy. Like this can stay for 6 months and it will remain as it is. It is very crunchy. I'm just trying to break it up with my hands for you to see it. And I separated the overly black ones. We won't be needing it. So I separated it from it. So just for you to take note, don't just mix everything into your packaging and sell. No. So just take out those ones that are very black. You don't need that. So you can see me using my hands to just crush this. This is to show you how crunchy, how crisp this is. So you should try this method out and you will definitely thank me for it. And this is how to make your own ripe plantain chips in the comfort of your home. Like I said earlier, I won't make this video too long by showing you how to package and the rest. If you are interested in such video, just check on the unripe plantain chips video. You'll find it here. Thank you guys for watching this video to this point, and if you have not yet subscribed to our channel, please take a moment and hit the subscribe button below. And one thing I want you to do for me before you go is just to give this video a thumbs up, comment below. Thank you guys, and I will see you next time. Bye.